So I was a featured speaker. The first one was sports science and football, current trends, future directions. So it was about a 40-minute presentation. And really what it was to highlight the work that we've been able to do in the Jayhawk Athletic Performance Lab in collaboration with KU football. And so we talked about just some of the early findings related to football sports science. The first published manuscript on sports science and football was related to player health and safety. They used to have a 1-bar face mask, and there were 2 incidents at one university where 2 athletes had spinal fractures almost in the same location by wearing these helmets. And so we talked about the early research, we talked about some current trends and some of our current findings from our lab. Some of those are more research-based, like periodization in football. So how do you train a football player? It's a little bit unique compared to other sports. Others are more strength and conditioning focused, like velocity-based training. So we worked through that presentation, and at the end, I basically shared how we operate our program. So how do we involve our students? What types of research do we do? And then how do we engage the community? I also had a podium presentation on our STRIDE project. So that was about a 10 to 12 minute presentation, and that really focused on contributors to athleticism. That's also a hot topic. For as long as I've been involved in sport, it's like, how do we evaluate athleticism? How do we know who is athletic and who is not? And then how do we develop that? So that's from our work with Bonner Springs and AAI and the other collaborators. And believe it or not, we were able to identify 4 to 5 different contributors to athleticism. We used markerless motion capture. We used some other measurements as well: height, weight, flexibility, strength, power, speed. But really from the 3D markerless motion capture, what we found was explosiveness. So what you would expect, I think, is the more explosive you are, typically the more athletic you are. One that surprised me was functionality and dysfunction. So functionality is essentially how well does your body move in space. So do you move well? We hear this from the coaches a lot. Yeah, athlete A moves, they just move well. Whether it's male, female, whether it's football or track and field, whatever it is. And then dysfunction is essentially alignment and asymmetry. So these are basically modifiable. And so some of the work that we've done with Bonner Springs is we built out an exercise library to enhance those different areas. It's extremely rewarding being able to share our research and share our findings and share our progress with the strength coach or the sports performance professional or other researchers. I think that ultimately is a goal for most researchers, but especially as it relates to our field of sports science, strength and conditioning. So being able to connect with them, identify a problem, conduct the research, and then translate it back to them is rewarding.